Gretzky on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Ram. Wrap up your year right with great deals at the Ram Big Finish event. By Meijer, find low prices on everything your family needs at Meijer. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Welcome back, Joe Louis Arena on this Friday evening. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond, and Chris Osgood between the benches with you. Third of 4 in a row for the Red Wings here at home, where they own a 5-1-2 record and have won 4 of their past 5 here with a point in the other Sunday against Tampa. Our Southeast Michigan Ford dealers for the Blackhawks, Corey Crawford will make a 7th straight start. After an upper body injury sidelined him for 6 straight, he's been outstanding. And so too is Jimmy Howard. Career game number 298 tonight. This season, a terrific goals against average and save percentage. Jonathan Toews will center the big line for the Chicago Blackhawks. Christopher Stieg on the left, Patrick Kane on the right, and the captain for the Red Wings, Henrik Zetterberg at center. He's got Johan Franzen on the left and Gus Nyquist on the right. The referees, Paul Dvorsky and Darcy Burchill. And we're underway for the first of 2 meetings this season. And the only one here is Trevor Van Riemsdyk, brother of James, the younger brother. Gets one into the Red Wing zone. Moving in his defense partner, Duncan Keith. As Eriksson put one through the middle and Kronwall will set up. Zetterberg goes after it. And a save by Crawford. Kane plays one over for Keith, who joins along with Versteeg and knocked away by Nyquist and tapped back in by Toews. And the Red Wings and Hawks will both make changes 40 seconds into this hockey game. Chicago, having won 2 in a row, their last victory, a shootout win at home over Tampa Tuesday. The Lightning, the Red Wings' last opponent Sunday in a shootout loss here. Johnny Oduya, who blocked a shot in that Tampa game in the 3rd period Sunday, able to play, or on Tuesday rather, able to go tonight for the Hawks in defense. They'll backpedal now to try to find it, but the puck is up and out of play right in the vicinity of Chris Osgood, who nearly made his first save of the game. And there's Joel Quenneville, who is the leading active coach in terms of wins and 3rd NHL wins all time. And a 2-time Cup winner with the Chicago Blackhawks.
You know what's very interesting is that both these coaches, Quenneville and Babcock, have got teams right today that if we started the playoffs would be looking on the outside. And that's pretty unusual.
Here comes Abdelkader, who blew a tire, went down out there along with Yurko and Datsuk. Yurko's stick is broken. He'll head toward the Red Wing bench and go off in a change. It was brought on. Ooh, that hit Jimmy Howard's stick off a shot from Ben Smith, who's got a heavy wrist shot, number 28 for the Blackhawks. Datsuk will flip one into the right wing offensive corner as Tatar goes in to get it. Off the side of the goal of Crawford. Picked up there by Marcus Kruger. Comes around here for Hjalmarsson, right between that broken stick of Yurko. His long pass is a beauty. He gets it to Bickle, circles the goal, and knocked down, and a penalty coming to Kindle, who tries to plead his case, but sent down the ice. It'll go wide of the goal, though. And the Blackhawks are back to get it. Delayed call coming to the Red Wings as Seabrook makes the pass. That was too far. And Howard touches, icing, and the holding penalty from Burchill called against Jakob Kindl.
Well, there isn't much question about the penalty being called. It was pretty obvious, an easy one to call when Kindl reached around and grabbed him.
Detroit penalty, 2 minutes for holding.
Yeah. But again, it's that gap between the forwards and the defense.
Well, Mick, it was just like the game against Tampa Bay where the Red Wings struggled with that stretch pass. The Blackhawks tried it twice, and then one was resulted in a penalty to Kindl.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head, boy, if you're a defenseman like that.
So it's a Chicago power play here. Red Wing penalty killing, 2nd in the league behind only the Hawks, whose power play is 19th. 0 for 8 the past 2 games. Keith and Seabrook. They're on the back end. Seabrook has it. They've often used Brad Richards at the right point in the power play. Kane gets one over to Keith. The shot goes wide off those backboards. And Miller able to clear. This morning at the morning skates, the Hawks were throwing plenty of pucks off the backboards just to see, and they know all too well from all their times here how lively the boards are at Joe Louis Arena, and they were practicing that on angles this morning, shooting wide and seeing the trajectory.
And most of these guys have played in this building enough that they pretty much know. Nice play by Abdelkader to clear. They pretty much know from the old days. They've played enough. Now it's only 1-1 with Detroit being in the East, but they had a lot of games against each other over the years, these two.
Hossa couldn't pick it up cleanly. A former Red Wing for one season, number 81, Marian Hossa, who had 40 goals in that year with Detroit, 08-09. What a terrific hockey player he is. Knocked off his stick before he could gain entry to Red Wing territory. Chris Versteeg in his second tour duty with the Hawks. Moved it over to number 20, Brandon Saad. Puck to the corner as Abdelkader raced in and poked past him. Then he gets knocked down. The puck first is Detroit, brought in here by Anderson. He'll stay out. Abdelkader goes off. A dozen seconds remaining in the penalty to Kindle. David Rundblad, former first-round pick of the Blues, to center. Couldn't get anywhere. Drew Miller back in. Glendening goes after. Kindle out of the box. So Chicago's power play 0 for 1 tonight. No shots in that power play for Chicago. Knife back in by Brad Richards. Eriksson stumbled, checked by Bickle. Known more for playoff prowess than regular season, Bickle, but earned a big contract off a terrific run in their latest cup a couple years ago. Brendan Smith. His pass for Zetterberg, dangerous. The catch is up, and it's a 3-on-2 if they can get going here. To Franzen, back to Zetterberg, and just wide. Kindle able to punch it back in for Zetterberg. Oduya knocked it away for Kruger. And a bouncing puck settled by Quincy. This sellout crowd at the Joe into this original six battle early. On the wing for Peter Regan. Shot glanced off the leg and off the glass. That's it. Look at that. Pulled it around Regan, who then had it come back to him to the line for Van Riemsdyk. Shot got blocked. Sent in by Yurko. Gets around Keith. Van Riemsdyk then tried to take away his real estate. Keith came in to help. Van Riemsdyk, the right-handed shooting defenseman, cleared it around. Normally likes to play his offside, the left side. But with Keith there, and Riemsdyk playing the right side as Yurko moved it past him to the corner for Abdelkader. And now Duncan Keith has it. Won the Norris Trophy last season for the second time. Long pass tipped into the Red Wing zone. As the Hawks and Wings in the midst of changes, allowing De Keyser to survey the situation, give it to Brendan Smith. Long rink-wide feed is perfect. Glendening carries in with Anderson. Crawford the save. Anderson took a whack at it. Oduya went down. A giveaway. Miller the shot. Save. Rebound. Scores! His first in 14 games.
Christmas in November. What a giveaway this was. Right onto the stick of Drew Miller. That's a great stop by Crawford. And one more time, Luke Glendening is on his backhand, and he makes this one count. Up over the goaltender, top corner. And I'd say that the Red Wings have responded very nicely to 4 days off. No sign of rust. And Luke Glendening gets this baby up high, right into the top of the net. 1-0 home team.
And a career high for Luke Glendening. He's got his second.
Always on the backhand. We're going to have to teach him there is a forehand. He might be lucky on that side too. We'll be back. 1-0 Detroit. 7 minutes in to period number 1.
Luke Glendening, who goes to the backhand after the bad giveaway by the Hawks. Right on the Drew Miller stick.
Well, we've all done, anybody that's played this game has oh my, oh my. That is about as bad as giveaway. You look right through the other jersey. You don't even see him there. We've all done it. And, oh, boy, it ended up in the back of the net. It doesn't always, but, boy, oh, boy, you got to be so careful going up the middle like that. Woo. Red Wings take advantage of that. And for a team that's usually having trouble scoring goals, they will take it.
Tatar was back in perfect position, and Kindle will bank one off the boards. Rundblad knocked it back in. Shaw ran into Tatar. Brent Seabrook back for David Rundblad. Puck to the corner. Kruger. An dependable guy for the Hawks, especially in the face-off department. Number 16 gets draped there by Kindle. Puck into the middle. Passed across. Good clear there in position, Datsuk. And Smith tried to get his stick on it. Wraparound try, overskated. And Hjalmarsson couldn't find it. Another chance for Ben Smith. Oduya keeps him in at the left point. That's sailed up into the netting. So a stop in play. Face off to the right of Jimmy Howard.
Well, Mick, you're correct. From down here, the Red Wings are showing no rest whatsoever. Looking very quick. Great penalty kill there. Great in all ends of the rink. Pavel Datsuk with a great defensive play in front of Jimmy Howard there. But the Red Wings are engaged fully right now, and to me, this is their best start in a while.
And with 4 days off, they've had lots of time for teaching. Practice Monday, took Tuesday off. And then practice Wednesday and Thursday for the game tonight. The Hawks have been off since Tuesday, so it's not like the Red Wings have a huge advantage in the fatigue factor. This will be icing, face off back into the Chicago zone. But every way, the Red Wings playing the Blackhawks may help to get the rust off quickly. Pavel Datsuk, as Chris mentioned, in a perfect spot and a fine defensive play right in front of Jimmy Howard.
Yeah, and as always, Pavel Datsuk is making a difference here early. Seems to not matter how long Pavel's out for. When he comes back, he doesn't miss a beat. Great defensive play, and he's been really quick through the neutral zone so far tonight here.
Is he as strong a skater from down there at the ice level as he looks from up here, Chris? I mean,
Mick, this guy's lower body is one of the strongest in the National Hockey League. Almost impossible to bump off the puck, and that's why he's good. Not only offensively, but very good defensively as well.
back pressure in the puck. I mean, he just overtakes people. They don't realize he's that good, that strong, that quick.
Jimmy Howard will scoop it around off the glass. Took a good bounce for Zetterberg. Able to get it to Nyquist to Franzen in the return pass. Gus Nyquist getting his feet moving into the Hawk zone. Dropped it back, but offside was Franzen on the right wing.
No, we talked about Pavel Datsuk's return, and this is what you get from a superstar player. You just don't get the offense, you get the good defense. Red Wings doing a fabulous job of collapsing down, helping Jimmy Howard, and there he is, Pavel Datsuk. Front and center, playing great D again. This guy does it all over the ice. He leads this team in the room and on the ice, and they're happy to have him back.
Put a blanket over 4 red jerseys in front of Jimmy there.
That's what you got to do against this Blackhawk team. You got to outnumber him at the net.
Regan goes up in the forecheck. Quincy was there first, played in the middle, and Abdelkader with some room here. Along with Yurko. Abdelkader off the kick plate to the line to Kaiser. Muscling in front, Yurko. Gets a shot in that Corey Crawford will hold. Yurko a healthy scratch the past 3 games. Just 2 assists in the 12 that he's played, but Mike Babcock saying this morning, Datsuk loves playing with Abdelkader and vice versa, and you get Yurko on that line to give him some more speed.
Well, speed is what he brings to the game. The problem is that there's lots of guys in the world that can skate today, but you got to find a home by putting the puck in the back of the net. You're playing with the best centerman in the National Hockey League, or one of them, and he's going to basically. Isn't it interesting that Pavel says that Abdelkader pulls the load. He has the piano on his back, and now Datsuk's got the piano on his back helping Yurko. So let's see if he takes advantage of that.
Pavel might just tell you now he's the old goat with the kids.
Right, when he was a young one.
Yep.
With Brett Hull.
To add to that, Mick, you wonder in Ottawa when Yurko had that great chance and Anderson made that fabulous pad stack save against him, if that would win. This kid, I was with him in Grand Rapids. When he scores goals and gets confident, he can get lethal out there. But you're right. He should have a lot of room to move now with Abdelkader and Datsuk on his line. Pavel creates a lot of attention. He should have some open ice. He's got to shoot, and he's got to shoot to score, just not to hit the net.
Well, the way Datsuk can pass the puck, the biggest challenge for Yurko, having only played 100 and some games in the minors, way under what Ken Holland likes to do, he has to learn to play without the puck. He's got to get open. Datsuk will find him. Abdelkader a muck in the corners, and he's got to get open without the puck and get those scoring chances and cash in.
To Kaiser. After a play by Tatar to the front of the goal. Helm circling the net. Jamming away along with Shan. That'll be held by Crawford, who's playing his 7th straight game after missing 6 with an upper body injury.
He's been really good. You know, you look both ends of the ice. Jimmy Howard's been really good for Detroit, and Crawford, when he's been in, has been excellent for Chicago. If it hadn't been for Crawford and Chicago's defense, they might have a worse record than they do. As I pointed out, I said Detroit's not in the playoffs. They are by 1 point right now, but there's a lot of people on their back.
Yeah, the Hawks are just 5 and 6 their past 11 games. Nyquist just failed to get a shot on goal. I think the Red Wings, who have just 1 regulation win their past 5, yet Detroit has only 3 regulation losses this season, tied with Pittsburgh and Anaheim for fewest in the National Hockey League.
That's the 3-point game again in a league of parity. That sounds all well and good. The bottom line is, though, they're right on the bubble of a playoff spot. They're in 8th spot.
And what they have to get better at, as everybody knows, is the shootout. The Red Wings are 7-3-5. That's just offside.
Great call by the linesman. They're barely out, but thankfully for Brendan Smith, a ill-advised pass just snuck over that blue line, called offside.
It's only a half a period, Ozzy, but it's your first time down at ice level. What do you think?
This game is quick. It's a lot quicker when I played. This pass right here by Smith, this is what's got him into trouble last year a lot, and he's been a lot better. I'm not doing that this year. He's got to stay away from that against a lethal Blackhawks team.
Dump back in as Jonathan Ericsson first to retrieve it, just past the halfway point of this first period. The Red Wings and Blackhawks, a big original 6 weekend for Detroit. We'll have the Montreal Canadiens for you right here on Sunday night from the Joe. Second meeting of the season with Montreal. Now a division opponent. Hossa made the play. Kane's right in. Jimmy Howard the save, and he knocked down a second one. A sprawling stop by the Red Wing netminder.
That second save was incredible from down here. Wow.
Here's Hossa. Took the shot over top of the goal. So Joel Quenneville wasting little time getting Hossa up there along with Kane and Taves.
Sure didn't.
Penalty coming here to Detroit.
And it was down in the corners at Taves. It was down.
Yeah, he's shaking up a bit down here, Mick.
Boy, what a shift for the Hawks. And you're right, Kim. He got Marian Hossa loading up that line. There's 1 by Jimmy Howard. There's 2 by Jimmy Howard. And one of the set of hands that you'd love to have on your stick every day.
Jimmy Howard, who's been flashing the leather all year and has been so strong at home here. Look at the form, keeping that glove up high against a potent Kane, and sticks with this, fighting this one off, the second opportunity. And watch this. What a fabulous save on the second opportunity. The first one's good, but the second one is great as he whacks that away. Kane with 2 opportunities, and Howard keeps it 1-0.
And it's a power play for the Chicago Blackhawks as Glendening in the box for interference. As Keefe leads it ahead for Chicago. Brent Seabrook. In for Taves. Right in front to score! Kane! 21 seconds into the power play, and we're tied at 1.
It's a lethal bunch out there when you got Seabrook and Keith and the likes of Jonathan Taves with Patrick Kane, one of the guys we talked about on the open. Boy, oh boy, he's not going to miss too many times. You give him a chance like this. Look at that shot. Just like Glendenning, right under the bar, short side. Not much chance for a goaltender coming across like that, Ozzy.
No, and Nick, and you just saw why there. Jonathan Toews is leading the Chicago Blackhawks in points. What a pass, what a look he gave Kane for that, and he's not going to miss from there, and he buries that chance. No chance for Jimmy Howard on that goal.
Toews, team-leading 14th point. Kane with 11 now. He had 69 points in 69 games last season. Seabrook's got it. Tipped over top of the goal. Helm skates it ahead. Hitting it back from Sheahan. Into the glove of Crawford.
Well, that one handcuffed him a little bit. He almost knocked it down, but he did squeeze that glove well enough not to give up a rebound. And he's talking to Seabrook about getting in the road. I think it hit the stick on the way to him. And how much conversation, Ozzy, goes on with a goaltender in their defense when the pucks are hitting them and changing direction?
Oh, there has to be a ton. When there isn't any, that means things aren't going good. You want to always be talking to your DM, and there. Crawford, who it's been documented, doesn't have the best catching glove around. He really has learned that French style of just knocking pucks down with that catching glove. So the Red Wings got to attack that side and hope there's rebounds there for the taking.
I remember all the heat he took in the playoffs. Going high glove, in the end up winning, and it doesn't look so bad.
That's right.
Datsuk played it off the kick plate from his knees and popped it up. Hossa can't get past center ice. And Zirko did a nice job coming back on it. Doesn't get out. The Kaiser tried to play it to Abdelkader. Now Datsuk recovered. A spinorama pass was intercepted. Played by Oduya for Kruger. And back to Johnny Oduya. To Nicholas Hjalmarsson. 6'3" defender with a little head fake as Datsuk gave him a whack. And the play is called at the Detroit blue line. Our flag star, bank star watch is the star of the Red Wings, their captain, Henrik Zetterberg. Nearly a point per game pace against Chicago, second most points against any team he plays. Only St. Louis with more, and from all the time the Red Wings spent in the Western Conference in all the games between the Blues and the Blackhawks. Zetterberg's pass, Franz unable to reach back and retrieve it. Saad made the play for Shaw, not out of the zone as Zetterberg had it knocked down in front. A long stretch pass by Van Riemsdyk. Saad going in and a save made by Howard. Another one came loose. Nicholas shot went off a leg. Zetterberg able to find it ahead for Nyquist. Keith trying to cut him off. Knocked him down. Keith for Van Riemsdyk. Andrew Shaw got knocked down. Now the Chicago fans want a penalty as Shaw ran into Howard.
That was embellished a bit.
And Howard's going to get a penalty, isn't he?
High sticking call.
To Howard.
That just doesn't seem right from my standpoint. More of a dive by Shaw and Howard, just unfortunate.
Well, they're going to check him right in front of you, Ozzy, for blood, too. That would be double jeopardy if he gets 4.
It's hard to tell whether it's going to be 4 or not, whether he's cut. It doesn't appear like he is. To me right there, Ken, that's embellishment for sure. And the Red Wings here against Tampa struggle with these stretch passes in the second period. Chicago doesn't quite a bit, have caught him twice now. One was a penalty to Kendall. Red Wings got to be careful moving forward because in the second period, expect Chicago to be doing that nonstop. These stretch passes, Chicago, who's known for these long passes. The Red Wings got to be in the right defensive position when this happens, and struggled against Tampa Bay. But here, a breakaway given up by the Red Wings on another stretch pass. They've got to really be aware that Chicago's going to continue this all night, especially in the second period. We'll watch for this.
It's a huge save right there by Jimmy Howard. And the Hawks have all the momentum here after tying the game on a goal from Patrick Kane on the power play. And here they are again back on the power play with Franzenoff serving the penalty for Jimmy Howard.
They've made some adjustments on their power play, the Hawks, and it's worked so far. After failing the last couple of games. Eriksson played it and knocked down with a high stick, so it'll come all the way down the ice. Chicago knocked it down. The top 2 penalty killing units work here tonight, but Detroit's facing the action here this evening.
And Ken, that's a testament to the development of Luke Glendening. He's been great on the draws in the penalty kill this year, and he's been a force up front, up top on the penalty kill, blocking shots as well. There he wins another one.
And he won that one from one of the top face-off men in the league, Chris. Number one in face-offs on the power play is Jonathan Toews. And as you so accurately pointed out, Glendening beat him. Kane gets it in. Miller first back. Tried to poke it ahead to Glendening, stayed with it, then Glendening's got it. And hooked.
This will be a hold, you want to call it? Yeah. This is what one bad penalty does. It provokes another.
Chicago penalty, 2 minutes for holding the stick.
The last thing that Mike Babcock wants is a steady parade. Now, I don't listen, that's a battle for the puck.
I'm with you.
And Toews has got his stick over top of Glendening. If you're stronger than the other guy, lucky you, good for you.
Yep.
That's not a penalty. Red Wings will take it, but this game doesn't need penalties like that. He didn't hook them.
Yeah, 100% agree. Two teams that are really good against each other. Mixes.
Yeah.
Quite a few penalties called so far. To me, when a game's like this, a lot of emotion. Just let the boys play.
Right.
Let them battle for that puck.
Well, that's what I say. One bad penalty usually gets another one, and that's nobody wants to see that. Coaches can't roll their lines. People are sitting getting stiff for too many minutes, and they don't kill penalties.
Nick absolutely takes the flow right out of the game.
Right.
Seabrook lifted it out to center, batted away there by Kindle. Oduya to Seabrook wearing the old number 7 of Chris Chelios. Former Hawk captain Chris Chelios will join Mickey Redmond and me toward the beginning of our second period at the end of the first intermission here tonight. As Chris Chelios will join us in the booth, the advisor to hockey ops to the Red Wings. Zetterberg, Datsuk.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That was close.
Fans wanted a call.
Yeah.
Saad brings it ahead with 5 to go in period 1. Hossa couldn't touch, would have been offside. Datsuk goes off. Zetterberg follows him. Tatar comes over the boards with Riley Shea. To Kaiser. For Shane. Getting it into Tatar. Quincy. Watched by Shaw and Keith. Goes off Keith's skate. Out of the box. Franzen. Red Wings here with the Bell Tire power play. To Kaiser. For Tatar. Back for De Kaiser. Quincy the shot blocked. De Kaiser rifling one off the glove of Crawford. And Shaw will get it down the ice. Toews with 10 seconds left in his penalty. Kronwall, little delay here from Miller. Miller back of the goal, cuts out front with it. Puck's loose, they jam away. Crawford can't find it. Now he gets the whistle with the puck underneath as Seabrook took exception to Glendening poking at that puck. So we're tied at 1. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. They are just underway in Pittsburgh where the Pens are entertaining the Leafs. Locked at 0s in the first. The Pens try to catch the Leafs napping there. Shot from center ice. James Reimer makes the saves. They are still scoreless early in the first. Kenny, back to you at the joke.
Thank you, Trevor. And a 1-1 tie here. Glendening and Kane, the goal scorer.
Glendening, who's been involved all night, scored a goal. He's been in the penalty box for the Blackhawks goal. It's created a penalty power play for the Red Wings and now almost gets another backhand goal like you mentioned earlier, Mick.
To the front of the net, knocked away. Yurko back for Quincy. For Danny De Kaiser. Yurko off his stick and out of play into the bench.
$59 fan packs now available to see the Wings take on PK Subban and the Montreal Canadiens this Sunday. 2 tickets, 2 vouchers, and 2 soft drinks starting at $59. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. Montreal, Sunday night, Original 6 weekend.
Zetterberg is lying out there against the Taves unit. Nyquist contend with a bouncing puck. Eriksson for Zetterberg. To Nyquist. Franzen. Turning with it. Slip one back to the point for Eriksson. Shot wide. And tipped by Zetterberg and just off target.
Look out.
That went off the skate of Gus Nyquist. Van Riemsdyk played it ahead for Brandon Saad. Taves couldn't get through. Zetterberg back in. Taves couldn't get it out. Seeing some double shifting duties. As Taves here. Threw it in front to the line for Kindle. Hank one off the backboards to Nyquist. Shot in on Crawford. Deflects off to the near boards. Kindle moves up. Trying to skip past Kane. Bouncing puck for Smith. Kept it in. Keith for Chicago. Played it up the middle. And it worked. It went to Kane.
What is Patrick Kane doing there?
Knocked down by Brendan Smith.
With a love tap.
Helm brings it ahead for Tatar. Into traffic. And as Quincy got piled on. Back of the net to Sheehan. Brad Richards on the intercept, played by Peter Regan. And the Red Wings Quincy, chased by Morin. Seabrook. He'll throw it into Red Wing territory. Quincy saw a hit coming, protected the puck and himself. Went off a leg as Tatar was able to move one forward to Kaiser. Off Sheehan's stick. Little scrambly at the moment. And Anderson threw it back into the corner. The Red Wings in the midst of a change. O'Duya to Hjalmarsson. Nicholas Hjalmarsson ahead for Brandon Saad. Saad at center. Scored 16 goals last season, did Saad, and 44 points. Both personal best for him. Goes after it now. Saad up high with it. Drops it back. And Riemsdyk shooting one. Howard made the save. Puck loose for Brendan Smith. Number 2 counterpart, Keith's got it. Keith, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. The rookie turning at the line. Makes a good play. Off Brendan Smith.
Great play by Brendan Smith to stay at home there. Not run around.
Duncan Keith back to get it. For Van Riemsdyk. This will be icing.
Pretty good shift.
Like the shot through, it just hits Howard. Doesn't see it. A lot of mass humanity in front of him. Brendan Smith just missing that puck, and Bickle giving a kick at Howard, kicks that puck loose. But and Brendan Smith with just a love tap here, Mick. That's all that was.
Chicago fans are looking for a penalty, but again, it's a physical game, and he didn't impede him from going anywhere. He checked him and shoved him down. So the referees, rightly so.
Chicago, Detroit, Mick. Let him play.
Yeah, right. Zetterberg and Datsuk together in the last 30 seconds here.
And why not? Datsuk fighting off Hosen. Jonathan Eriksson goes back to get it, and this first period comes to its conclusion in a 1-1 tie. Our Ram first intermission, Chris Chelios will join us up here. And Trevor and Darren are in the studio.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. 1-1 after 20 minutes of play, and Chris Chelios still signing books. We'll see if he can get up here with us. In the meantime, our John Keating sat down with Chris before the game, and here's what they had to say.
That's a good word, tormented. But I think I was more shock. Even the people when I walked in the dressing room, the players, the looks on their faces, disbelief, seeing me in a Red Wing jersey. But I think through the book, at least it tells a little bit of a story, the falling out I had in Chicago at the time, which I really never mentioned at the time, and it wasn't the time. But the book, like I said, get a few things off my chest. And there's no ill feelings towards anybody or the organization. I left on great terms. But at least people have somewhat of an idea, and it all worked out for everybody. Chicago's, doing great now, and I had found a home here, and things went well for me here.
You have to be stunned that you ended up playing longer for Detroit than you did for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it, but I had more games in Chicago, but more years in Detroit. But yeah, I mean, coming to Detroit, I never bought a house in the beginning because I figured I won't be here long. I'd be returning to Chicago and live the rest of my life there. But like I said, on being such a great team and having the success we had, I was able to find a spot in there and be a role player and mentor the young kids towards the end. So, just lucky. How tough was that first game as a Red Wing back in Chicago for you? It was so bad that Scotty asked me to leave the bench after 2 periods. He did me a favor. I had a little bit of a lingering groin, and the fans were booing so much, he'd just come down and say, listen, you need to go in the dressing room and go up to the press box with Michael Jordan and have a few drinks and take the fans out of this game. So I did. He felt you were actually helping the Blackhawks because every time you touched the puck, you were getting their fans back into the game. Well, we won the game, and I think Scotty was just being sarcastic and just, watching out because it was towards the end of the year, obviously, and we were going into the playoffs, so he just didn't want to take any chances.
As always, there he is, signing the books here in the concourse at Joe Louis Arena. And we'll hope to get Chris here later in the show tonight. But our Red Wings player fact brought to you by Motor City Casino and Mr. Chelios and all his accolades. 3 teams he played for in over 400 games. The only person ever to do that. And it goes on and on. It's unbelievable. 3 Norris trophies, 3 Stanley Cups. Unbelievable. And boy, he loved to mix it up. He was something else. Number 7 in Chicago. Number 24 in Montreal, my old number. He got it after me. And then number 24 here in Detroit for a couple of more cups. So, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, he was the epitome of a hockey player for sure. Liked to mix it up and get involved in the rough and tumble stuff, but could score at the same time, and a great playmaker and great leader off the ice, obviously, and Chris Chelios.
He didn't leave anything on the bench, did he, Oz?
No, and he had 948 points. You think he wanted to get 1,000? He was so stubborn. He was trying everything he could at the end there to get to that. Too bad he didn't.
I remember he was asking Mike Babcock, come on, put me on the power play, will you?
Oh, for sure he was. The guy was so competitive. He had that 1,000 on his mind for sure in his sights. Too bad he didn't get it, but great career.
Well, he's a character, one of the characters in the game, and he's been really front and center with USA Hockey and always. So I remember we called him Captain America, and he took onto that and enjoyed the heck out of that stuff in the last couple of years.
Franzen took a shot that's deflected aside by Crawford. Franzen moves up there into the corner, checked by Van Riemsdyk. And Kane, who's got the Hawks goal, puts one back and gets the return feed. Bumped there by Zetterberg. As Jonathan Toews swings one ahead to Kane. Shot by Versteeg. Tipped aside. Toews moves up. Checked there by Zetterberg. Kane around to the line to Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Out of the University of New Hampshire. Left school a year early. Undrafted was Van Riemsdyk. Unlike his brother, Van Riemsdyk goes back to get it. He's a late teenager, went to a skills camp, ironically, in Chicago, and the Hawks scouting staff took note of him, just kept an eye on him, and out of that skills camp, some folks at the University of New Hampshire noticed him, and winds up in the National Hockey League. Played by Crawford, past Datsuk.
So much more of that stuff going on these days with only 7 rounds in the draft, and a lot of players flying under the radar. Late bloomers, if you will, like the Kaiser here for the Red Wings.
Here goes pass, glanced off a leg. Nicholas Hjalmarsson for Marcus Kruger.
Out for the late man.
That late man is Oduya. Bobbled the puck and took a shot.
Wow, not a very good line change by the Red Wings there. Odd man rush by Chicago, just missed.
Hjalmarsson took it from Smith. Save made by Howard. right onto the stick of Helm off the glass. Chips one into Hawk territory. This could be icing, and in fact it will be.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Miller has an assist here tonight, Drew, on the only goal for the Red Wings by Glendening. Patrick Kane has replied for Chicago on a power play, and we're 1-1 just into period number 2.
Saad and Sheahan have one another tied up on the draw. Now Tatar will pick off that puck with Helm. A bouncer that Crawford deflected away. Tatar's got it. Checked by Shaw. Glendening chopped it out of the air. Knocked down by Brent Seabrook. Came right back for Helm. Now the Hawks. Bickle getting past. And Brendan Smith, good recovery on Brandon Saad.
It's another good job by Glendening to come back and cover up and support a defenseman who was beaten shortly.
Tatar going wide. The Hawks, Brad Richards. Left it for Saad and a save by Jimmy Howard. Kronwall checked his man as Anderson couldn't clear. Now it came back for Joachim Anderson again, past Oduya. And the Hawks, Hjalmarsson, pestered by Miller. Glendening got in front of the attempted pass to Richards as Anderson plays one ahead and Miller will sweep it in. Joachim Anderson and Hjalmarsson. Oduya for Chicago. Checked by Drew Miller. Helped out by Anderson. Came free. Moved back by Zetterberg to Eriksson. Off the heel of Kronwall's stick. Put it toward the goal. Backhanded just wide of the net. Another stab by Anderson and another one. As he and Miller had some chances. Morin couldn't clear it out. Hjalmarsson for the Hawks. Swings one around, and even with the long reach of Eriksson, it was too far, and it will be icing against Chicago.
I think it's no coincidence Chicago, his game plan is going up the middle. We get back to that in a second. Here's this Glendening play coming back. You see what I mean? You got to keep skating, boy. And you see they got around Kindle. He's there to force a pass earlier than they wanted to make it, and really ended up in a nothing play. But that's nice support by Glendening, and that's the reason he's in the lineup. One of the reasons, anyway.
Draw one by the Red Wings, tapped back in by DeKeyser. Quincy was pulled down, puck's loose there for Yurko. Yurko with Datsuk and Abdelkader. Picked up there by Peter Regan, the former Ottawa Senator. Hjalmarsson to center. Datsuk tipped it past Kane. Abdelkader was checked as it's sent back in by Versteeg. Howard around for Quincy. Played it back to Datsuk. Trevor Van Riemsdyk for Duncan Keith. Long stretch pass. Intercepted there by Eriksson. Tried to send Zetterberg on his way. Went right to Crawford.
That's the plan I was talking about, Ken. It's no coincidence they're trying this stuff all the time. It's about 10 attempts to do that already.
Kronwall, point shot. Oh, seemed to flutter. Nyquist couldn't center it. Franzen had knocked it down momentarily. Intercepted by Zetterberg. Pass back through the score! Wow. What a great feed to Franzen. It's 2-1.
Wondering how quick the game is. I mean, this is in partial slow-mo. I mean, this happened so fast, the turnover. There were 2 giveaways by Chicago. The last one, Zetterberg got it off the skate, immediately up into the air. Corey Crawford, Ozzy went to poke check, and that was his kiss of death on that one.
Yeah, very similar to the first goal turnover by Chicago. Kane goes cross-ice really for no reason, and Johnny on the spot.
Wow.
Zetterberg in great defensive posture. Puts us through to Franzen, who makes no mistake on the high backhander.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, bang, talk about a bang-bang play. Wow.
So Franzen's got his 5th goal in 10 games now in the season. Zetterberg getting the assist.
He gets more sticks in the road with one hand on the stick, Zetterberg, than any player I know. And Franzen was the recipient of a beautiful pass. He hardly handled it. Off the skate and boom, up into the top corner. Once Crawford dove to poke check him, he was in no man's land, and if Franzen could get it there, he was going to get rewarded, and he did.
Yeah, kind of an old school poke check there, Mick.
Yeah.
And Franzen, head up, eyes up, saw it, and made a nice movement high with the backhander for the second goal.
Red Wings win that faceoff. Darren Helm, checked by Ben Smith. Seabrook dumps one down ice, won't have enough steam for icing. Brendan Smith back to get it. Puck didn't get through to Hossa. Helm will shoot it in. Took a strange bounce. David Rundblad put it up the middle, and Hossa was there. Red Wings will take over. Off the skate of Sheahan, recovered here by Quincy. Glendening took a hit from Seabrook. The Hawks. Rundblad didn't get through. Loose puck here. Anderson takes the shot, save, rebound, scores! Tatar!
Rundblad trying to find a place to hide. He tried to run it through and it hit Glendening's skate. And look at Tatar coming in the top side. There's no hot. They ignore him just for a split second. And that's long enough for that perfect rebound to go right on the stick of number 21. And that might even went off the skate of Seabrook and up into the net. So back-to-back goals, 1 minute and 10 seconds apart. Whoa! And Chicago giving the puck away.
Exactly. And great defensive posture and positioning by Glendening to take it off the skate, and then Anderson with a good job with speed to get in and get the shot on net. And just like the coach has written up, the rebound goal by the Wings.
At any level of playing hockey, coaches will tell you, or should, when you get to center ice, you got to get the puck deep. And they did not and paid the price.
Yurko in front. Oh, try there for Abdelkader. Brad Richards. Datsuk in a perfect spot before Regan could get there. Anderson getting the lone assist on the Tatar goal with 5:59. Minute 10 after Franzen made it 2-1. Tatar with his fifth. Pavel Datsuk in his return to the lineup. We've been out with a sore groin. Injured the past two. Zetterberg now with Franzen and Nyquist. Jonathan Eriksson, first back, saw the hit coming. Put it over to Kronwall. He'll reverse that, and the Red Wings will set up. Hawks send two in, including Bickle, but a perfect feed up the middle. Nyquist with a nice move. On to Zetterberg on the left wing side. Zetterberg to Nyquist. Oh, and he just fanned on it. Nicely set up, though. Back comes Taves for Chicago.
Penalty, Chicago.
Holding the call. So the Red Wings in 70 seconds strike for two. Franzen, Tatar. Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Let's take a look at our big boys' plays of the game. 3 giveaways. That one by Versteeg. Bingo. Cashed in by Glendening. This one by Patrick Kane. Bingo. Intercepted Franzen 2-1. And this one, Rundblad. You got to get her deep. Tried to pass it. Glendening intercepts. And the rebound right to Tatar. Bingo. 3-1. 3 giveaways and a few more. After the Versteeg giveaway in the first period, Ken and Ozzy, he did not play a shift until the opening shift of the second period. So Joel Quenneville not happy with that kind of stuff, obviously.
I was saying that so far the Red Wings have been structurally sound. They've been in the right spot defensively, creating those turnovers. So and playing a lot faster than Chicago right now.
Red Wings on a Bell Tire power play with Bickle in the box. Chicago, the top defensive team in the National Hockey League, have allowed 3 tonight. They've allowed 3 or more just 5 times this season. and are 1-4 in that regard. That was a shootout win at Ottawa, 5-4, so doesn't happen all that often. And they haven't been all that successful when it has happened. Oh, Franzen able to keep it in. Another hot giveaway, that time from Hossa, who recovered there. Kindle knocks it down. A lead pass back to him from Franzen. There's the Red Wings in the midst of a change. Yurko went back Kindle's way, slapped by Oduya and down the ice. Thomas Tatar will set up. Yurko and Datsuk and Sheahan up front. Tatar put himself offside with a bad pass.
Well, Tommy Tatar has been guilty of a little bit too much shake and bake so far this year. He's got himself 5 goals, but that pass there, I'm not sure on a backhand how he hooked it short and caused his teammate to go offside. But boy, he sometimes moves a lot more than he needs to. He had a great half a season last year, coming up like several of these guys earlier than they wanted to bring him up, but he adapted very well.
Remember, he was a healthy scratch first 8 of 9 games last season. Then you couldn't take him out.
Right.
He was that good. Datsuk back. Sheahan the shot. Tatar looking for the rebound. And as Yurko tried to just send it underneath a prone Crawford, it wouldn't go.
Riley Sheahan's wondering what he's going to do to get a goal. What a setup by Datsuk on this one. Watch this play. Sheahan coming into the middle. You'll see him right here. He's late. And Datsuk goes back towards the middle with 2 defensemen. Hossa and oh my gosh, what a play. Unbelievable. Duncan Keith and Hossa both went for Pavel Datsuk.
Yeah, Nick, absolutely. When the Red Wings power play is struggling, well, Pavel Datsuk goes out, and that's what they missed, those entries that he can create. And right there, he created a chance for Riley Sheahan, just missing.
If you want the puck in the guy's hands, it's going to give you the best chance to get a scoring chance. It's number 13. There's any question about that.
Red Wings have scored 2 power play goals each of the past 3 games heading into play tonight. Zetterberg with a shot. Tip. Crawford knocked it away. Datsuk threw it back to the line. Kronwall, Zetterberg. Stick just went like spaghetti on him. Out of the box is Bickle. Red Wings 0 for 2 on the Bell Tire power play tonight. Quickly moved to Zetterberg with a new composite. Crawford able to tee it up there for Brent Seabrook. Johnny Oduya. Brendan Smith tipped it. In back of the goal. Over to aid him there was Jonathan Eriksson. Put the lumber on his man. Taken by Anderson. Shaw able to keep it along the boards. Anderson came away with it for Smith. Moved to Miller. Chalmerson lost it. Miller out of the corner with it. Drew Miller with some good work to the line. Brendan Smith. Tipped through by Glendening. Landed on the stick of Anderson. He just couldn't fire it. Miller took a shot. That looked like a lacrosse play. Went one stick to the other. If anybody should be good at that, it'd be Brendan Smith. The way his family, the brother Rory, great lacrosse player.
Cross-check all you want in that game.
Oh, yeah. Legal. Sure is. A lead pass for Taves. Spinning away from Princey. So Kaiser was checked. And support there, though, from Sheahan. Now a race for it. Hell more often than not can win it. It bounced away from him. Kept control. Aaron stick in the way. As Taves is all over Sheahan, who made the play. And then Tatar fanned on that. Quincy with some room and a shot. Changed direction. Interfered with on the way to Crawford was Riley Sheahan.
Crawford can't believe there's no penalty.
Brought back in by Tatar. Getting it over to Helm. Back in front. Tatar's got it now. Helm trying to get open. Tatar to the corner. High slot. Shot Zetterberg. Save Crawford. Zetterberg rebound. And just slipped wide of the goal. Helm couldn't get there. Van Riemsdyk around to Jeremy Morin. Morin with some good work. Off the skate of Bickle. These teams go end to end here in the crowd. A sellout crowd here at the Joe enjoying the action tonight. Hope you are at home as well on Fox Sports Detroit. On the wing and a save by Howard off the Morin shot.
Boy, oh boy, fast and furious. We're going to go to break, but we'll be back with some action. It's unbelievable. Crawford under siege. It's 3-1 for the home team. Back in a moment.
Time for our AT&T U-verse rewind. Darren Helm's first 4 NHL goals came in playoff action, but this one, 2009, Game 7 against the Chicago Blackhawks, Western Conference Final, and on to take on the Penguins. It didn't end as well as that series did, but a big goal by the Red Wings to move on to the Cup Final.
Well, he and Abdelkader both scored their first goals in the playoffs.
Yeah. And Helm's first 4, he'd never played a regular season game, and that record was passed in May of 2012 by Chris Kreider of the Rangers, who scored his first 5 in the playoffs, beating what was Helm's record at the time, having never played a regular season game. Brought in by Kruger. Point shot for Oduya wide. Kruger backhanded one off the side of the net. Came loose in front. Howard couldn't glove it. Hosa's got it. That shot just went wide. Boy, Hosa's off Yurko. Hosa's 36 years old. He's got a contract that'll take him with the Hawks till he's 41.
A lot of dough.
Carried back in by Regan.
Ouch.
That hurt. Cronwall able to get back up. It's off.
Barely.
Richard's stick.
Cronwall's on the limp.
Another shot in. Howard will make a good save there and hold on.
Cronwall wants out of there as quick as he can. Took it off the ankle, I think.
Yeah, Mick, and after that great block by Cronwall, another great defensive play by Zetterberg, realizing his teammate was wounded on the ice, wasn't able to play, and Zetterberg got back and made a great defensive play. And Cronwall's been doing this for years. Great position down, but opened up that ankle, and hopefully he's going to be all right after this. But
I wonder, you see when he went down, you watch the way he bent down there, and I think he got it off the right inside of the right ankle.
Yeah, that's probably the worst place you can possibly get hit by one of those shots. So I'd hope for the best. Hopefully Cronwall's all right. He's been a rock solid all season long for the Red Wings.
He wears those skate tenders, and not even that sometimes. Boy, these guys are shooting the puck 100 miles an hour.
Well, he's down here on the bench moving his foot around right now, trying to get it moving a bit, bouncing around a bit, but he seems to be, to me, he's going to be okay down here.
Get a shot off the ankle like that, your foot just goes completely numb.
Well, he'll have to lose a leg not to get back out there in this game. Nicholas Cronwall, he'll play no matter what.
Jonathan Taves. Point to Keith. So Taves with Saad and Versteeg. Joel Quenneville mixing them up.
That long pass, I mean, that's just, they're doing that almost every shift, Chicago.
Chicago missing a key forward in Patrick Sharp. He'll be out for 3 to 4 more weeks.
Well, he's always been deadly against Detroit.
I remember some hat tricks against the Red Wings by him, yeah. Puck is up high. Nyquist able to get in front of it. Kept in though. Bickle. Couldn't get past Brendan Smith. And then Versteeg missed it.
He made a thought that the linesman was a defenseman back there.
Yeah, the Red Wings have had a great period up until this point. They want to make sure they don't get loose here late in the second. Finish this period off.
Giving away Zetterberg. Had it blocked. Oduya got down in front of it. Coming back, Nyquist to knock away a Hjalmarsson attempt. As Chicago wanted to head up ice. Cronwall takes that feed from DeKeyser, moves it on to Zetterberg. Too far for Franzen, off a skate. Ricocheted right back to Andrew Shaw. Former 5th round pick and some great numbers he's put up. 20 goals, 39 points last season for Shaw. Chicago's going to run into some salary cap issues at the end of this season when Taves and Kane go to $10.5 million each. They're going to have some salary to knock off. Good move here by Tatar. Moved it back to the point to Quincy. Loose in front of the goal. Jalmerson to the corner. He couldn't clear it away. Back to the right point for Jonathan Ericsson. Put one toward the net, knocked down to the other corner. Now they chase. Helm on Jalmerson. And the Hawks send it down the ice.
May not make
Won't
it.
have enough for icing.
This line, that Sheahan line's had a good period.
And the Hawks salary cap crunch at the end of this season still be nothing like it was at 2010 when they lost half their team. Saved by Crawford. Puck to the corner for Datsuk. Slipped one back for Brendan Smith. David Rundblad for Chicago. Fired in by Hossa. Regan able to make the play for the Hawks, and then Keith was tied up. Puck's knocked past him. He saw Datsuk wasn't going his direction. Van Riemsdyk's shot went off a leg. A near giveaway for Keith. Abdelkader stayed with him though, and the Hawks just bounced one back into the Detroit end. Back to recover. The Hawks keep. Tipped from across the center ice line. First back there is Jonathan Ericsson. Gave it away though to Morin. Morin looked in front. In turn gave it up here to Joachim Andersen. Flying along with him is Glendening. The pass here to Miller. Takes the shot off the glanced off the outside of the post. Brad Richards threw it to an open wing. Bouncing on that puck is Richards. Kick save and a beauty there by Howard. Seabrook back in for Brad Richards. Former Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Back up with Tampa. Saw it with a shot. Howard didn't know where it was, but he stopped it. Miller was hooked. Slowed down on the way through by Glendening. And Howard able to hold it.
Giveaways all over the place right now. It remains 3-1 Detroit.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Back to Toronto for the Leafs and Pens second period action. Sidney Crosby trying to split the D. No go. Hooked up. Takes a penalty. Still no score in that one. They are midway through the second, Kenny.
Thank you, Trevor. Well, there's Thomas McCollum, who's the backup netminder tonight. Peter Mrazek is starting tonight in Grand Rapids against Texas. Peter Mrazek will come here tomorrow, and Thomas McCollum will head to Grand Rapids, and he'll start against Texas tomorrow night. Thomas told me this morning, somehow after the game tonight, he'll find a way that he and Peter Mrazek can shake hands on Highway 96 on the way out there. And both will get NHL salaries for the days that they're up here. Well, they enjoy their time here and both get some playing time in Grand Rapids. The Red Wings don't want either of the two goaltenders replacing Jonas Gustafsson to get stale. Here's Franzen. Back to Nyquist. Saved by Crawford.
That's a good save right there, boys.
Very good. He just caught that the last second with his arm. Didn't see it come through. Big save. It's 3-1 here being the score.
Exactly. That goes to 4-1. You can kiss this baby goodbye for Chicago.
Well, the Red Wings now met with 18 shots on goal this period. It's the most Chicago surrendered in a period this season. They've given up 16 two other times, but the Red Wings with 18 here in the middle stanza.
And the way this league is now, you can't sit back. You got to stay on the attack and continue to press. It's too hard to play defense against these great players.
And at one point, the Red Wings had 11 consecutive shots on goal. Red Wings 5-game combos presented by Little Caesars are on sale now for as low as $195. Each combo includes tickets to 5 Red Wing games, a ticket to the GLI, a free hot and ready pizza, and a Red Wings car flag. Build your combo now, 313-471-7575. Jalmerson circles the goal. Slow to get up is Kruger, who's crawling to the Hawks bench. Trying to get over.
Joe Klingle's furious right now.
Delayed penalty here to the Red Wings. As Kane brought it back to Richards, shot went wide. And now touched by Detroit. High stick will be the call, and they're going to see how hurt Kruger is.
That'll be the only question, whether it's 2 or 4. And
he went down the hallway right away, so
he's
assuming that he's cut.
There it is right there. The high stick. It looked like he went for the puck. And by doing so, trying to lift his stick, he missed it. And
nope, it's just 2 minutes here. It's not going to be 4, so.
Yeah.
Detroit penalty, 2 minutes for high sticking.
Thomas is shaking
he shakes his head. He's fortunate that wasn't 4.
No, Thomas, this is...
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So a half minute to go in the second period. And a 2-goal lead. Shaw sweeps one around for Keith. Seabrook to Kane. He's got the Hawks goal to Seabrook. Whistled a shot, came off the backboards out front.
I think they're going to go interference penalty.
And it's called by the referee up at center ice by you, Ozzy.
He was right beside me when he called that.
No kidding.
That was Paul Dvorsky, the veteran ref, who made the call.
Wow. Chicago's not going to like this at all.
No, Shaw was going for the puck. It was behind Howard. It was loose in the blue. This is where this penalty gets really big.
Goaltender interference.
Oh, he gave him a little cross-check.
He got knocked in by Cronwall, too, so they're going to be really ugly at this call, for sure. Wow.
And Stephen Wacom, the director of officials for the National Hockey League, is here at the game tonight, along with Don Van Massenhoven, doing some work for the league now.
Oh,
Great referee.
She ain't a perfect science.
You know, I asked Stephen to come in here and get a picture with you, in the intermission. He said he'd love to.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
And by the way, you mentioned Little Caesars a bit ago.
Yeah.
One of our Little Caesars and Red Wing family, we want to send out a best wishes and happy birthday to Carl Bayoff. He and Violet, his wife, used to travel with us on the private plane back in the old days when the family first bought the Red Wings. And way to go, Carl, 84, and keep her going, buddy. Happy birthday, and enjoying the game here at the Joe tonight.
Closing moments of the second period. One last shot, perhaps. There it is. Crawford the save, and it just squeaks wide of the goal.
That was a big save there to keep it at 3-1. Runs with a nice forehand to backhand. Another backhander, Rick. We've seen a ton of these tonight, but Crawford really has been outstanding in this game. He's under siege most of the second period and giving this Hawks team a chance to come back in this game with the Wings just up by 2 still.
Unofficially, 30 shots by Detroit so far.
Well, the Hawks have had some giveaways. The Red Wings have turned them into goals. More on that on our MGM Grand Detroit Intermission Report with Trevor and Darren. Teams arriving back on the ice for period number 3, and the Red Wings in a 2-goal lead. We'll hear from that masked man in a moment. Stay tuned to Red Wings Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings player of the game, presented by McDonald's new Fresh Baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin. Oakland University brings you the report card on this day in history, and it was Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, who passed the Rocket, becoming the NHL's all-time leading goal scorer, regular season and playoffs, with his 627th goal, passing Maurice Rocket Richard by 1. We'll pass it down between the benches to Chris Osgood.
Yeah, looking forward to this third period, Ken. The Red Wings have played great the first 2 periods. To me, that's the best 2 periods of the year. They got to continue to push the Blackhawks out here. The Blackhawks were sloppy, but I think the Red Wings had more to do with that in the first 2 periods. Their best 2 periods of the year so far.
And they were worried, Chris and Kenny, Mike Babcock was, that his team might be loggy after 4 days off. They skated Monday after 5 games in 8 days. They had Tuesday off. They came back to work Wednesday and Thursday, and they certainly didn't suffer at all through the first 40 minutes. They came out with good legs, and let's see if they can keep her going here in the third.
According to the Hawks folks up here, when asked about Chicago giveaways, have you seen this many in a game? Not in 2 games.
Yeah.
What we've seen here tonight by Chicago. But it's also Red Wing pressure forcing that. As teams begin 4 aside here on the ice for the third period, as Zetterberg carries in. Push to the end boards, but stays with it. Gets help from Nyquist. A race for it there, Cronwall and Chalmerson. Both teams changing. Chalmerson sees that. and retreats. Duncan Keith for Brandon Saad. Saad up the left wing side. Back for Marian Hossa. Offside skate. Out of trouble brought by DeKaiser.
Oh, great play by DeKaiser to get that out. This kid, from this level, this is the first time I've seen him play up close. Wow, he makes great decisions out there.
Franzen. Scored a goal tonight to give the Wings a 2-1 lead. Datsuk partially knocked it down, but Saad will carry on. It was behind Keith. Well, it was a short-lived Red Wing power play that now Shaw is out of the box. Tatar for Sheahan. Off Tatar! Oh! Ricochet back, and Crawford with lightning quick to make the save.
Jumping. Did that ever pull it towards the goaltender there off a body in front? Like Sheahan was trying to make the pass to the far side, and it hit something in the middle. And boy, Crawford.
Yeah, he was sharp on that, Nick, wasn't he?
Ever? Oh, my.
And, you know, he's made 5, 6, probably maybe even 8 big saves here ever since it's been 3-1. He's given his team every opportunity to try and come back in this game. He's been fabulous so far.
He sure has. It hit the right skate of Tatar on the way to the far side. Wow.
Brad Richards over to get it. Seabrook chases on Tatar. Brent Seabrook with it again. Another Hawk giveaway. Helm put it back of the goal for Tatar. Stumbling. Poked it to Sheahan. And O'Duya made the play to Morin. Morin on the right wing. Look back, and a nice defensive play by Sheahan to knock it away from Brad Richards. And a big hit there by Quincy. He knocked down Regan. Keith racing in. Broke past the former Spartan. Morin held it in at the line. Michigan State wasn't too happy when Duncan Keith decided to leave and go to Kelowna to play junior. And now we know why after seeing how well he's played in his year with the Spartans. He was terrific. Two-time Norris Trophy winner. 61 points, second among NHL defensemen last year. Howard made the save on the Kane shot. Kane with Shaw and Bickle. Joel Quenneville's really mixed things up tonight. Danny DeKaiser off Glendening. Glendening got that loose puck again. And then it went over Joachim Anderson's stick all the way down the ice.
This is not a bad thing for the Red Wings with a 3-1 lead. We're almost 4 minutes into this period. Very few stoppages, and they're moving their legs again.
And Nick, they've really pushed the Hawks all night long, and this is what they've done really well. They're not sitting back for 1 minute of this game. They continue to attack the Hawks.
Part of the reason they've had so many giveaways.
Nyquist threw one in front for Franz, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Sometimes you can say the team's sloppy, but I really believe tonight the Red Wings have initiated most of that sloppiness for the Hawks.
Zetterberg circles back. The Red Wing point leader with 17. No icing. Franzen was in there to negate that. Now the other way, no icing, so Jimmy Howard will leave it for Jonathan Ericsson. Like 4.5 minutes here. Period number 3. Pavel Datsuk couldn't get by Brent Seabrook. Rundline's pass knocked away. Ericsson to Pavel Datsuk. Datsuk with Yurko and Abdelkader. Abdelkader on the left wing. Looked in front to Yurko! And he went past with the puck. Couldn't get a shot on goal. Ken Smith with Kruger, who was hurt late in the second on a Tatar high stick. Smith to Kruger to Van Riemsdyk. Back for Keith, overskated. Trying to get to that puck, interfered with Yurko. Duncan Keith. Spin back play, such an effortless skater. Played by Richards. That shot off Howard made the save. Helm, can he get through? Van Riemsdyk on him. Helm went down, got back up, over to Shane. Alduya checking him. To the line and back to center. Eriksson for Smith. Golfed that by Tatar. Nicholas Hjalmarsson. His pass off Regan. Smith left it for Riley Sheahan. Reversed that, gave it away though to Regan. Tried to bring it out front. Howard stuffed him on the short side and hangs on. A 2-goal lead for Detroit in the third period. Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, if you're one of those people that loves to be organized, tonight you'll love to watch the Red Wings. They've been organized all night long. Watch this breakout. Cromwell over to Eriksson, heads up pass to Datsuk, who drives his own, gets the offensive zone, a nice nifty pass to Applicator, and Yurko driving the net, just how it's written up by the coaching staff. Great play by the Red Wings. When you're organized, you're taking away time and space, and Quincy with a heavy hit on the Black Hawk forward. The Red Wings have been in the face of the Hawks all night long.
I don't know if you could see it right in front of you, Chris, but Datsuk really leaned on that pass. Taking the pass, he had both hands on the stick. It was a bullet pass coming from the defense, and he handled it perfectly without a hiccup.
And probably has one of the biggest blades in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, he does.
Frustrates guys even more.
Dumped into the Red Wing zone. Denning with Miller and Anderson as the Hawks are buzzing now. Comes back for Van Riemsdyk, and the shot sailed wide. Versteeg able to keep it in. He's had some time on the pine after the giveaway in the first. Saw it out of the corner with it to the line for Keith. To Van Riemsdyk. Saved by Howard. Came way out looking confident on that.
The hot potato. Holy mackerel.
Shaw back for Van Riemsdyk for Keith to Shaw. Shaw with a good move around Zetterberg. And then offside as Bickle jumped ahead of him.
Well, today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the United States Armed Forces serving in 175 countries and abroad. Aboard ships at sea, rather. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome all, and we salute you. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the game.
Kaiser reaching, then he gave it away. Patrick Kane took the shot toward the goal. Kane, who hails from Buffalo, spent some time in the Detroit area when he was living with Pat Verbeek. That goes off a skate. Bickle pushed it back of the goal to Shaw to Kane. David Rundblad at the left point to the corner for Bickle. Zetterberg on hand, back to Rundblad, teeing it up. Sauer with the save.
Great job by DeKaiser to clear out the hot forward in front Shaw, so Howard can get an eye on that puck.
Tap back by Yurko to Nyquist. Late coming. Oh, and he didn't see him. Brendan Smith was joining the rush. Yurko without a stick. Trying to knock down Rundblad. So Yurko ahead of the bench. A couple of errant sticks out there. Hawks fire it in. Applicator at his man tied up. Tatar poked one back. Eriksson to Applicator. Rink wide feed for Tatar. And Riemsdyk staying with him. Then gave it away to Applicator. Eriksson a return feed. Applicator in the slot. Datsuk couldn't get there. Return feed for Hossa. Back to Keith. Shot just wide. Tatar pushed it past Van Riemsdyk. A race for it. And Riemsdyk got there as Datsuk will just shoot it in.
And so the Red Wings have to be careful moving forward here. The Hawks are going to bring everybody here in the last 10 minutes of this game.
Brad Richards. Burning back in his own zone. Kane at the Hawk line. Left it there for Keith. Back for Kane. Puts on the brakes. Franzen checking him. Left it for Richards. Takes the shot. Finds Keith. Great pass by Keith to Hjalmarsson. Richards into the middle. Knocked away by Kronwall. Keith again. Richards lost it. Regained control. Regan slapped it around for King. King left it at the line. Hjalmarsson's got it with some room and a shot. Sheahan, he's got a break. Hjalmarsson getting back. Sheahan, and he tried the half slap shot. Hjalmarsson got a stick in there. Long stretch pass, delayed offside. Quincy, Hawks in the midst of a change. Failed to click with Franzen.
We haven't had 5 whistles in 11 minutes. It's been unbelievable this period.
Ahead for Taves, too far for him.
Everybody's on curfew, I guess, tonight. Being Friday night.
Oh, Miller interfered with Loduya, knocked him down. Been so long, those 2 sticks still out there. One behind the net, one just in front of the blue line in the Hawks zone. Glendening coming back, took it away.
Another good job by a Red Wing forward to support his defense. People are getting in behind them tonight. The Hawks have tried these stretch passes every opportunity they could, but they haven't been successful on many. Another one right there.
That one went off Smith. Hossa. Checked by Datsuk, former teammates. Followed up by Yurko on the applicator. Taken wide by Rundblad. The Hawks Rundblad with a pass off Hossa. On wall for Eriksson.
You know, it's interesting, Ken, is you have not mentioned Hossa's name a whole lot tonight. He's usually a lot more dominant, and he's not having a good year so far. He's struggling, and that's why Joel Quenneville's moved him around a lot. He's had very few scoring chances tonight.
Saved by Howard off Kane. Franzen couldn't get past Keith as Shaw held it in. Bickle. Ryan Bickle back for Keith. It was blocked. Franzen got in front of him. To Hjalmarsson. Smith careful there if the Red Wings didn't have too many men. De Kaiser was trying to stay with it. Bickle's got it. Look back for Shaw. Blocked by Quincy. Loduya scampering back. And they're going to give an icing against Detroit. All your local Toyota dealers brings you their scouting report on the respective coaches tonight. Mike Babcock since 05-06, leading Joel Quenneville in victories, but Quenneville's climbed the coaching ladder to lead all active coaches in overall wins and third all-time in NHL wins. Coach Q, as they call him, with one of the better stashes in the game. Done a terrific job and a great man, Joel Quenneville.
Nail in the head there, Ken. I had Joel Quenneville in St. Louis. You're right, he's a great coach, but add the great man to it, it makes him the perfect package for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Look at him! Bust up the gut and a great play by Seabrook. And I know that Coach Quenneville loved having you there, Oscar.
Well, I hope he said that. Some nights he didn't, though. Trust me on that.
Well, you know, goaltenders, of course not. Right?
Sometimes you have a bad night, Ken.
I know. Even you.
The Red Wings have this neutral zone bottle there. We really haven't given them enough credit or talked about enough. Their defense has been great tonight.
They wanted to improve on that, Chris. Mike Babcock said they weren't as good as anywhere near as good as they wanted to be last weekend, and they really wanted to tighten that up, and they've done that tonight for sure.
Nick, to me, this is their most complete game this season so far. They look great out here right now in all zones.
Chicago has 23 shots, but
not a lot of good ones.
No.
Not a lot of great chances by Chicago. A couple in the first, but they've really battened the hatches down here the last 2 periods the Red Wings have.
That second period by Detroit as Miller knocked down another Hawk errant pass, but here's a break for Chicago now. Taves is in.
Wow.
And deflected high.
He's frustrated, Taves. The Hawks scorers have been quiet tonight except for Kane. He's got the only one. Detroit leads 3-1, 6:16 to go. Tonight's hard hits are brought to you by Timberland Pro. Bickle, about 6'5", 225. Here's a nice hit by Kronwall, who is no surprise to that stuff. Then Eriksson, Oduya on Miller, and then Brendan Smith. The crowd loved that one. No penalty there. Patrick Kane on his rear end from Brendan Smith. Our Timberland Pro hits of the hockey game.
Taves back to the point that Zetterberg read and dumped it out. And this will be icing. Face off back in the Detroit zone.
Well, what happened there, guys, is that Mike Babcock at the last minute threw Glendening and Zetterberg on the ice with Franz, and they kept Nyquist on the bench. He just went to change, and then now he has to be put back on the ice because of the icing again. The two centermen situation, of course, why he's doing that. Nyquist is the loser on that draw. No pun intended.
Oh, giveaway in front of the net. Here's Kane, and Howard got a piece of that.
Wow.
Franzen muscling into the Hawk zone. Zetterberg's got it. Franzen to the other side with Nyquist. And Riemsdyk for Chicago. Jonathan Taves with the lead pass to Patrick Kane. Backhander slid wide of the goal. Moving up was Kruger, slapped away by Eriksson. Not out. Here's Kane. Right circle off a leg. Recovered by Datsuk.
He just faked out 2.5 guys with one fake. Oh my.
Zetterberg gets checked. Oduya. Good job on Abdelkader. Coming to help with Sheahan. Ben Smith knocked it down at center. Past Smith. As in Brendan. And into the Red Wing zone to Kaiser. Thought about pushing the puck to the middle. Thought better of it. Abdelkader checked by Smith. That helped Tatar. Nearly sprung Abdelkader. Sheahan's got it. In traffic. Made a move. Here he comes along with Abdelkader. Safely in deep. Crawford kept it alive for Seabrook. Under 4.5 to play in the third period. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond, Chris Osgood, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you on the first of an Original Six weekend with Montreal on Fox Sports Detroit in here at the Joe on Sunday night. Drew Miller to Joachim Anderson. Anderson to Glendening and a save by Crawford. Glendening opened the scoring in this game, 6:08 in. Anderson turning. And Glendening second of the year. Franzen Tatar with the other Red Wing goals. Shot blocked in front. Patrick Kane is the lone goal for Chicago. The Red Wings are dominant second period. Took the game over. Almerson stepped up on the intercept. Good job by Quincy on Shaw. Joachim Anderson didn't get it out. Chalmerson kept it in. Edging out of the goal, looking to leave was Crawford, but not yet. Chicago down by 2, and they'll look to pull their netminder as soon as Joel Quenneville can get him out.
Kyle Quincy had 2 great puck battle wins there in the corner. Once against Bickle, some big players, and came out on top. He's been great defensively all season long.
Nyquist. The Red Wings are looking for their first regulation win in this building against Chicago in 12 tries. And their first regulation win against the Hawks, that was nearly too many men on the ice. Since 2011, of April 2011, back at the United Center. The Red Wings' last regulation win against Chicago.
Crawford's got to be going now.
2:40 to go in the third.
They get organized here and you make that one pass, away they go.
Yeah, Joel's waving right now. Here comes Crawford.
Well, Crawford's gone to the bench. Howard the save. The rebound for Brendan Smith. Net empty. Smith was slashed at. 6 skaters for the Hawks. Keith able to keep it in. Back of the net to Versteeg. Gave away the puck on the Glendenning goal. He coughed it up to Miller early. Datsuk with a great move. Finds Brendan Smith. It's a 3-on-1 and an empty net. Smith will take it and score.
Well, that didn't take long. Again, good support. This time with Datsuk helping out Abdelkader, who had been tied up by a Hawk player. And Brendan Smith makes no mistake on the backhand at the 3-on-1 with an empty net. But they've done very well tonight supporting each other. And anytime the Hawks got in behind, there was somebody there to stifle them. And as a result, they outshoot them at this point 35-25. Crawford's been greater. It would have been 6 or 7 goals. And what a great game for Detroit to come back after 4 days off and to start this weekend off with the Canadians coming in Sunday.
Yeah, Mick, you talk about the little things Red Wings have been great at all night. Justin Abdelkader in great defensive position on the boards, and they've won all those puck battles tonight on the boards. Right there, once again, a little chip pass to Pavel Datsuk with the support. Easy goal for Smith.
The most shots on goal Chicago has given up this season. 35.
Well, they've really kept the Blackhawks off balance all night. They've been at a fractured game. I would say they didn't play very well, and that's probably true, but Detroit had a lot to do with the inability of Chicago to get a whole lot done. It was one and done most of the night.
That's exactly right, Mick. Sometimes we get caught up in the mistakes the team makes, but really the Red Wings have forced Chicago into a lot of those mistakes with great positional play and just been outright faster and won those puck battles on the boards all night long.
Datsuk and Abdelkader assisting on the Smith goal. As Andrew Shaw came in, Howard stopped that. Shaw with another one, blocked in front.
That's an underrated save right there by Jimmy Howard. I know as a goalie, you want to keep that at one. That second one makes it leave the rink kind of early.
Glendenning put one in off Crawford. Less than a minute to go. As the Red Wings are going to win in regulation here against Chicago for the first time in a long time since 2009 here in this building. Regular season. When Franzen had the game-winning power play goal that night. And as it stands right now, if the score remains the same, Franzen will have the game-winning goal on this night, albeit at even strength. Eriksson, 20 seconds to go. Helm with Tatar driving the goal. Helm, Tatar, and just out of his reach. Tatar's got it again with 10 seconds left. Into the high slot. Saved by Crawford.
Well, that line's been great tonight for the Red Wings. Everybody's been great for the Red Wings tonight, but especially that line's been all over the Hawks tonight. Tatar, sometimes less is more, and he's done that tonight. Shot more, and he's made more passes and gotten the open space. He's been very good tonight.
So the Red Wings in this building are going to improve to 6-1-2. And again, as we mentioned, coming into play tonight, just 3 regulation losses on the season, fewest in the National Hockey League, along with Pittsburgh and Anaheim. Abdelkader off the faceoff. Crawford nubbed it to the corner. And that'll do it. The Red Wings win by 3. Beat the Hawks 4-1 in the final. Another sellout crowd here at the Joe witnessing this one, and they loved it. A thorough effort, as Chris said, their best of the season. They salute the Wings, and the Wings salute the fans.
And as advertised earlier in the game, it's time for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and it will be maybe the prettiest goal of the night. The Franzen goal, the interception by Zetterberg off a Kane, off the foot. He doesn't even handle the puck. Watch this, off the right skate, boom, up into the top corner. Corey Crawford's going, oh my God, no. Winning goal is our Miller Lite goal of the game.
Final power plays in the game, Chicago. Their only goal came on the man advantage. They were 1 for 4. Detroit 0 for 3 on their Bell Tire power play tonight. But
Star
they
number
win by
3
3.
from Chicago, the goaltender number 50, Corey Crawford. Star number 2 from Detroit, number 35, Jimmy Howard. And star number 1, also from Detroit, number 41, Luke Glendening.
So Luke Glendening, who opened the scoring before Chicago tied it, and then the Red Wings, a thorough effort tonight to beat the Blackhawks in the first of 2 meetings this season. They win it by a final score of 4-1. Chicago drops to 9-7-1 in the season. The Red Wings 8-3-5. Back with more.